White Suns, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Let's Talk About Star Wars with Maggie Lovett. Today's episode is going to be a fun one because we are going to be looking at some very entertaining responses that I got from Twitter this week. But before we do that, I want to give a shout out to Del Rey Books, who sent me 2 books this week that I am so excited for. First up is Thrawn, the latest Thrawn book. I cannot wait to dive into this and just get some more Thrawn goodness. And then, of course, they sent me over Sarah Kuhn's Dr. Aphra book, which I am so excited for. Dr. Aphra is such a fantastic character, and I love seeing more content coming out for her, especially we had a fantastic comic this week. And I really loved seeing that they're slowly starting to include some more references to the High Republic and some of their other comic books. And so that was very cool. So be sure to read the Dr. Aphra comics. But today's episode, I was racking my brain for what to talk about this week, because obviously I can't talk about the books yet. But I wanted to do something fun. I wanted to talk about something that I have always been fascinated with, and that is the strange, the unusual, the often inappropriate uses of Star Wars licensing in merchandise and marketing. So the strange and unusual choices for licensed merchandising and marketing has always been something that has fascinated me. Back before The Rise of Skywalker came out, I purchased 2 cans of Campbell's soup that had Rey and Ben on them because I am, of course, a dirty, rotten Reylo. I had already eaten the Rey can of soup because I got hungry during quarantine and I love myself some Campbell's chicken noodle soup. But I have not eaten the Kylo Ren can of soup yet. So here it is. There he is in all of his glory. I mean, what says chicken noodle soup like Kylo Ren and his lightsaber? So this is just like one example of, eye-catching merchandising and marketing choices. I know that there were a lot of Breyer's ice cream tubs with Rey and Kylo on it, which I needed 5 of them to get over my depression from The Rise of Skywalker. I did not buy any of those boxes of ice cream, even though I was very tempted to. But they've had bananas with Star Wars stickers on them, and they've had bags of carrots and broccoli and things that I guess that they're aiming to appeal to children and parents looking to appease their children's requests. But it got me thinking this week about some of the other ways that we have seen Star Wars and its characters show up in merchandising. So of course I went to Twitter and asked and then I drop my pen. I went to Twitter and I asked people to tell me what their weirdest piece of licensed Star Wars merchandising or promotional materials that they've ever seen. And the answers did not disappoint. This tweet did some numbers and people really showed off some very interesting objects. So I'm either going to pop them up right here so you can see them or let them take over the whole screen, because some of these things you really just need to see with your own eyes. But first up was something that came out this week. I actually did a story for it over at Your Money Geek, and that is the Swiss watch company Cross has come out with a $150,000 Death Star-inspired wristwatch. Now, there are only 10 of these in existence, and the reason why they cost so much is because they come with a piece of Star Wars history. They come with a kyber crystal that was used in Rogue One. I don't think that should be $150,000, but what do I know? That's a thing that happened this week. I think that is just ridiculous when there are so many things that you could spend $150,000 on that are not a Death Star inspired wristwatch and kyber crystal from a movie. But I'm sure people have bought them already because some people have more money than sense. That's their prerogative. I'm not here to judge people for how they use their money. I will judge them for this, however. But that was a very common response this week to this tweet because honestly, so many of us were just like, what? About that wristwatch, which I'll put up on the screen so you can see for yourself. Some of the others were like Matt Martin shared the C3PO tape dispenser that always comes up when this question or this topic is brought up on Twitter. It is very questionable. You pull the tape from a very specific point, a very specific juncture of his body, and it's just, what were those designers thinking? They weren't thinking. There are some other like fun ones, like an R2-D2 egg cup, which Anthony shared. That's kind of cute. Not gonna lie, I would probably put that on my bookshelf. Our friends over at Radio Rebellion shared a cool Hungarian The Force Awakens storybook that has a make-your-own mask in it. Now, this was not the only masks that were shared under this tweet. There were also this horrifying C3PO Halloween mask that Tim Owen showed, which is just, what is happening here? Why has C3PO been decapitated? And then there were also some like cute party masks that were shown, but they were still a little terrifying. And maybe that's just on me thinking that masks are terrifying. Clayton Sindel shared a Hamilton Collection limited edition plate of the Annihilation of Alderaan. Again, I have a problem with things that make you wonder who was taking this picture of the destruction of Alderaan. It has a lot of questions, and also the perspective is just very, very bad. But a lot of people apparently have this plate, so more power to you. It's definitely a plate. What says family dinner like commemorating the destruction of Alderaan? Sounds like a fun time to me. It could really create an explosive experience. Arzu talked about a Padme toy that she had that had a magnifying glass. I think I remember this toy. But she says that when you looked up her skirt, you saw a picture of Luke and Leia. Again, like I said, some of these are wildly inappropriate uses of licensing. Fred from Death Star Dispatch shared a picture of Luca's crazy hair, Episode 3, Anakin Skywalker candy, Jedi gooey gel. I'm just going to let that settle, that there is licensed merchandise that says Jedi gooey gel. Moving right along, let's see what else was shared. Tori Fox from Creature Cartel, which is celebrating their anniversary today. If you haven't checked out Creature Cartel, be sure to check them out. Super awesome shop. So much goodness. But she shared a Sebulba Koosh ball and a Jar Jar face watch. I'm not gonna lie, the Jar Jar face watch is pretty cool when it is down, but also slightly terrifying when it is up. That Koosh ball is just so cool. Kind of cool, not gonna lie. And then Candace over at the Geeky Waffle reminded us of the existence of this horrifying Jar Jar Binks object, which is truly scream 90s. But who doesn't want to French kiss Jar Jar Binks? Look at him. Look at him. I'm not 100% sure what this Star Wars Celebration Darth Maul object is that Fanboy Cantina has shared. I want to believe that it is a salt and pepper shaker. I think that it is cruel to continue to remind Darth Maul that he has been cut in half by turning him into salt and pepper shakers. But also, that just looks wrong on so many fronts. Brendan shared this bag of Lay's potato chips that had a Obi-Wan spirit giveaway. He also shared the toy, which looks like something Indiana Jones would be like trying to hunt down, like the glass skull, but it's the glass Obi-Wan. It's slightly terrifying and will now haunt you in your sleep. It is now your sleep paralysis demon. Have fun with that. Meg Casey shared the Jar Jar Binks inflatable, pool inflatable, which I vividly remember from my childhood, and I definitely think I begged for that. So thank you so much for unlocking this memory, because wow, I had completely forgotten about that. Kristen also shared this weeping Darth Vader shower head, which is super cool, and they apparently have in their house, which is super cool. And then they're also stocking this eBay clock, which I think is super awesome. That's actually cool. Like, I could see people having that in their house. Twin Sons Amanda shared a discounted Princess Leia bar of soap. You know, when I'm feeling down and just needing a nice, relaxing bath time, I definitely look to rub Carrie Fisher's face on my body. What were they thinking? This is so weird. So weird. Lather up with Leia. I have questions. Sam shared this really cool toy that I think everybody from the 90s will definitely remember. He shared a picture of the light up spoons. I believe you could get them out of cereal boxes. Yes. I wanted these so badly. I think I got like 1 or 2 boxes of cereal, probably didn't eat it, and that's why like I don't actually have this. I'm very sad. I would definitely have this. A lot of people have forced me to be reminded of Jar Jar Binks' tongue, so thank you all for that. Miss Canicia shared this Darth Vader lawn sprinkler who has a lightsaber in a very unfortunate location. And per her tweet, it sags when it gets hot. Moving along. There is a Darth Vader tooth saber, which is actually kind of cool. Darth Vader's lightsaber is replaced by toothpicks. So good dental hygiene is clearly like very important to Darth Vader. So may the Force brush be with you. I'm ignoring one that has Jar Jar Binks as being chopped up. What? Truly, this thread is something horrifying and spectacular. Oh, somebody found a C-3PO soap dispenser, so you can have some lather up with Leia and then pump C-3PO's head into your palm. You know, get some brain juice. I really, truly worry. Oh, I have so many questions. Oh, Lord. Truly, this thread is just filled with so many unfortunate oh my God, please tell me this is fake. There's a Walker's, which is the British equivalent of Lay's, Jar Jar sticky tongue toy. The obsession with the 90s and Jar Jar's tongue will haunt me forever. Somebody's prized possession is a Bib Fortuna mug. I think that's actually pretty cool. His teeth are kind of terrifying, but I think that's actually pretty cool. There's been so many. And here's another Jar Jar Binks with his tongue out. Truly, I have questions. So many questions. Big market in Jar Jar Binks' tongue. Who would have known? Who would have thought? Look at us. Oh, there's so many of the tongue. Y'all, please stop making me see the tongue. Somebody shared the poster from Revenge of the Sith, which said, "Who's your daddy?" Because the film came out on Father's Day. Honestly, I think this was really ingenious marketing, and I remember this poster, so I think that is actually a marketing win and not a marketing horror fest. There were some mandarins, which honestly I'm waiting for somebody to capitalize on the Mandalorians and mandarins and be like, the Mandalorians. No? Okay. Oh my god. Well, somebody shared Slave Leia perfume. No, just don't do it. I'm begging you. Somebody also shared Kylo Ren playing cards. Kylo Ren playing cards. I've got a surprise for you. I own the Kylo Ren playing cards that somebody has put in here as a bad marketing thing. I love my playing cards. They're still inside of the package. They stay up on my collector's shelf. But I think those are cool. I like stuff like that. Don't knock that. But yeah, there's just this thread, I think, had some truly horrifying and fun objects. There is also a C-3PO trading card with an appendage, it's an appendage that should not be there. And I'm not going to show that one on here. But there's so much in that thread. It gave me such a chuckle. So if you need a laugh today, tomorrow, anytime this week, there are plenty of Burger King drink toppers to look at and so many other truly horrifying Lucasfilm officially licensed products. I cannot wait to see what some weird merchandising things come out in the future, because there's always going to be weird, like, who designed that? I mean, we all remember last year some of the face molds for the Mandalorian that did not look like Pedro Pascal. There's always going to be blunders. It's always going to create like pop culture phenomena, like experiences for fans of Star Wars. So if you have collected some of these weird objects, or if you happen to have seen one that just like has lingered with you forever, please let me know down in the comments. I am kind of obsessed with this right now. I just think that there's so many weird things that have come out for Star Wars, and it's fun to like look into them and see if there was like weird backlash, or if people from Star Wars have commented on the fact that they exist. So go ahead and let me know down in the comments. I hope that you've enjoyed this and that I have edited this to look actually kind of cool. Have it in my mind. We'll see what happens. But as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing with me all of these things over on Twitter. I always love hearing from you all, and I love hearing from you here on YouTube as well. So be sure to leave a comment. I try to respond and at least like everybody's responses. Be sure to come back next week. I have also been over on the Star Wars Friends, of course, talking about Victory's Price. If you haven't seen my video over here yet, you can pop on over and watch that at the end of this video, and be sure to go over to the Star Wars Friends and listen there. We've been covering all of the books, so if you like what I talk about here, you can hear a much more in-depth conversation over on the podcast. We are very excited for some things coming up in the future, and you'll just have to wait and see. Until next week, may the Force be with you, as always.